Hi, everyone. Welcome to Little Miss Recap. My name is Amy.
And I'm Becca.
Becca, I can barely contain my enthusiasm for this show.
I was so excited to talk to you this morning about this show. These
I
Cowboys.
love the McBee Dynasty. Here's what I love about it, guys. They're putting it all out there.
They are.
I'm sure that some of it is producer driven. I'm sure there's some things we're not seeing, which I have notes on, like, why didn't we see, a couple things?
Yeah.
But for the most part, these Cowboys get right down in that mud, right on the screen.
They do. I was shocked at how honest they are in their conversations. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me just say that okay. So I put up that we were covering it. Mm-hmm. And I chose which McBees I was going to tag in this. So I only chose Junior. And then Becca re-Instagrams my story or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you made the huge error of tagging in Daddy McBee.
Well, because I'm in that Instagram beta program where it will tag everyone in the photo for you automatically.
What is that?
I don't know. About 3-4 weeks ago, I got a little pop-up on my Instagram that said, hey, do you want to be part of a beta where we auto-tag? And I just said,
oh my
okay.
God, I want to do that.
So, but the only problem is it tags, which is creepy, it tags everyone in the photo. And if it's a show, it tags the show, it tags the network, everything automatically.
Okay.
So it tagged everybody automatically. And I looked and I just said, okay.
Okay. All right. So anyway, we got on Daddy McBee's radar.
Yes. Or at least
I don't know
his
how we
social
feel about
manager's
this.
radar. And I was like, oh God. And then I sent you a message. I'm like, he just reposted my post. He just reposted my reposting of your post.
And then I was like, do they have Instagram in jail? But then I remembered he's not sentenced yet.
So I also Googled, like, well, who did this? Is it him? And then I'm like, when was he sentenced? Is he in prison?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
No.
And there's probably a pardon coming his way. I'm just gonna say it out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. So will I spend the entire season trying to manifest an interview with Steven Jr.?
Ooh. Yes.
Could you imagine us talking to Steven Jr.?
I don't know if words would come out of my mouth.
How funny would it be if I was asking him questions and you were just like,
and I'm just like, I turn into the emoji with the heart eyes.
yes. All right, so let's get into it. Now, one of the things that I want to say is Becca and I will be filling in some gaps for those of you who didn't watch season 1 when they're relevant.
Yes.
I feel like you need to know the whole Steven Sr. Galena situation coming into this.
Yes.
And Brooke, you need to know all of that. If you did not watch season 1 yet, guys, highly recommend go back and watch it. I think it's on Peacock.
I think so too. And it's a real quick watch. You can put it on and do your housework, do your laundry. Yeah.
All right. So this is McBee Dynasty season 2, episode 1, Russian Roulette. So we open with Tessa. Now, I am so glad that this show finally realized we need to lean into Tessa.
Yes.
And her southern drawl and her narration of everything McBee, because that's what we're getting, at least in this episode, it seems to be.
And we do. We need a little bit of a narrator to keep the show going, or else it's just scene after scene after scene.
Yeah, so she's like, this all started with the dream. All Boss Man wanted was a patch of land in Missouri that no one could take away from him and his sons. I won't do it all the time.
But you got to start
Sometimes I need to do it.
Yeah.
They set their sights on building $1 billion empire, but racked up a shitload of debt. So this is where we are. Mm-hmm. Stephen McBee Sr. somehow has managed to amass a lot of land and a lot of car washes. But he's not real good with the business.
No, he's not. He's good at spending.
He's good at spending.
Yes.
I don't know if all of it's on the up and up. We're unclear. We're not going to make accusations, but it's unclear what's going on. Now, what you need to know is Steve Jr. actually has an MBA.
Yes.
And is trying to run the business legitimately and thoughtfully.
And he has his own separate protein powder, protein beef jerky.
You mean
business.
Apex? Yes, he does. We
Because
know.
he'll wear that shirt every scene.
Every single scene. Or he's wearing nothing in some scenes, which
I don't mind.
okay, all right. So Boss Man invested a ton of money in the car washes. And to do this, he needed Galena. So Galena is... It's unclear as to whether or not Galena was the CFO, COO of the company first, and then he started banging her, or if he banged her and she got a nice promotion. We don't know.
I think it happened at the same time. I think she worked in the office and this is my thoughts. She worked in the office and she did bookkeeping. And then she started keeping his book.
I have a feeling anyone who hates our giggling is going to need to shut this off now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Turn away.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't... Look, Galena could be the most qualified person on planet Earth. I'm not sure yet. Maybe we'll see a little bit more of that. She did seem to kind of be on the up and running stuff well last season, but she's also like, this is a nightmare. We need to fold this all in, and nobody's listening to her, so...
I also think she's going to keep it running because this is supporting her. She's putting her daughter through college. I think she has some wits about her with finances.
Yeah, I think so too. So despite their daddy's influence, Tessa tells us, things are going good with the boys and their girlfriends. Are they?
We'll see.
Casey looks like she literally is in some kind of hell.
Yeah.
And until it wasn't, says Tessa. And she says, we also remember they didn't get this venture capital deal.
No.
So at the end of season 1, they were trying to get this group of venture capitalists to invest. And they supposedly pulled out all the stops and they didn't get the deal.
Yeah.
And Steve Sr. took off, and I wrote, did he take off or did he have to flee, if you know what I mean?
I think he is hiding in a country that maybe not have extradition to the United States. He is definitely in Mexico.
Also, what you guys need to know is while he's banging Galena in the first season, she's living with him, but he's doing the non-committal, which happened to me when I got divorced. I seem to seek out these non-committal guys who were like, well, you're just staying here, but like your stuff is just here. But don't change your mailing address. Don't change it on the form.
We're just staying together.
So, meanwhile, he was seeing a woman named Brooke.
Yes.
And then he loaned Brooke Galena's car. Correct me if I'm wrong here.
Yes.
And she got into an accident with it. And he was trying to get it fixed on the DL. And Galena found out about it.
Because the car shop called Galena. And that's how she found out. Yeah.
And let's be very clear. It was a car that Steven Sr. bought for Galena. It wasn't like Galena went out and bought this car and then it was like a farm car.
Yeah. It was probably bought on the business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have a lot of, very much like Natalie from 90 Day, we have a lot of that whore, you're whore. Galena likes to whip out the whore word.
Yes.
So,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So she found out about the car and she flipped out and called Brooke a whore, and it wasn't good. So I think he had to leave.
Stephen a whore.
I think he had several kinds of heat on him that he had to flee.
Probably Galena being the scariest of them.
Yeah. I'm scared of her.
Oh.
So they're heading into fall. Okay. Now, you guys know I'm hard of hearing. And there's a lot of mumbling. And we got screeners and they don't have closed captions.
No.
So I may have some of these farming terms incorrect. Okay. But I think what Cole is trying to say is that we have fall calving season, which is when the cows are having their calves.
Oh, I thought he was saying fawning season. Like
Maybe. Who knows? Anyway, there's a season now coming up where they're having their babies, and it's also a very important harvesting season.
Yes.
And Steve Jr., who I will call Junior most of the time, says we owe $6 million by the end of the year to ensure we don't lose the company. Now, first he says we owe it by September 1st.
Yeah.
Then it becomes the end of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know which is true.
But they are overall $75 million in debt.
It's not good.
Could you imagine? I get stressed out about the small debt I have.
I know.
Like $75 million. You'll never pay that off.
I wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
No.
Not a wink.
And Junior says he's the only one out of the brothers who is in the business, and it is keeping him up at night, and he is very stressed out about it.
Yeah, so the brothers are, Junior is the oldest. Then we have Jesse, right? Then we have Cole, who is a problem. I'm hoping Cole reforms this season and turns things around, but right now he's a problem.
Yeah.
And then we have, who's the youngest? Is it Brayden?
Brayden, and we don't see him much at all.
Well, we did it in season 1. We might see him in this season.
Yeah.
Unclear. Brayden might be like, I'm getting in on this. We don't really know. So we learned that Steven and Kala are still together. Now, they met on Joe Millionaire.
Yes.
Which I still haven't watched. And friend of the pod, Axel, says all the time that was a great season.
That'd be maybe a good rewatch. Yeah.
Yeah. We get a full nudity shot of Junior in the shower. Thoughts?
Oh, I paused. I lingered. I asked my husband to leave the room.
There's a restraining order coming in the mail.
They don't know where I live.
I was like, wow, we really are putting it all out there this season.
He needed to get paid.
Is this the Bravo treatment?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
you do see
now
butts on Bravo.
Okay, well, now we got a butt, and I'm happy about it. Cole and Casey are having a baby. We knew this from Instagram. The baby wasn't planned, but they're excited. And Cole gives Casey a little heads up, Becca, like, by the way, I'm not going to do anything with this baby.
And he doesn't even call it a baby. He says, I'm not doing nothing with this kid. Like, you're feeding it, you're changing it. And it's like, there's a disconnect there.
Yeah, their relationship, remember last season, the bar was so low that he literally took her out in his pickup truck to watch the sunset and gave her like a Lunchable.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my God, yes, I'll marry you. I'm in love with you. That's how low the bar is.
Didn't he just ask her didn't he ask her to be his girlfriend after they had been like,
you're right.
dating?
That was just girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yep. Dating. They've been banging.
Yeah. And they've
for a
been
long time.
together since I think she said 2019. So this is
6
not
years.
a new relationship.
No. I don't know. Do we know how old he is? Can we look it up?
So I Googled how old she was because she seemed, I was like, is she 22? Like she seems
she
really
seems
young.
young.
She's 26.
Wow. So she committed to this man when she was 20.
Yeah. Which means I feel like they probably all went to high school together still. Like,
oh, yes.
that's what I think. It's
because, in season 1, we get a lot of like the Mcbees are so well known in this town.
Yes.
And Cole, if you remember, was a football hero.
Yes.
Yep.
So I feel, and a few people who are in the BDF group have said like, oh, I live in this area. We know who they are.
Yeah.
Like, I think you definitely know who they are. And if you get one of the boys, you're probably holding on.
Would you say this is like a Grease situation where Cole is the big man on campus like Danny Zuko? Oh. And
I feel like he's broken dreams, you know. His glory days were the high school.
Oh, he's like an Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. He just sits around and thinks about football, his high school football. Oh, poor baby. Jesse and Allie are getting married together. Now, Jesse is the one I really liked last season.
Yes.
I like his temperament. I like his girlfriend a lot, now fiance. He seems to be the one who's kind of like the voice of reason in all of this. But I think Steven Jr. crept to the top for me.
But do you think it's weird that she has a wedding dress and she's getting fitted for a wedding dress, but they haven't sent out invites?
I mean, in my weight loss life, my weight gain, weight loss, up and down journey, I would get the wedding dress the night before. Because if I had some pierogies, I might need that wedding dress let out 2 inches the next morning. So, yeah.
I remember when I got my final fitting and the seamstress said, okay, don't eat too much now. I was like, geez, thanks. I just won't eat for the next 3 weeks. Don't worry.
So we learned there's this tension between Kala, Casey, and Allie. And it's been 3 months since they spoke. Now we get this really sad story that Kala, who I like, and I've always liked her.
Yeah.
Her sister passed away in May. Her sister was only 26.
Yeah. And it seemed to be a drug addiction thing.
Very sad. Very sad. Apparently Casey and Allie did not reach out. And then I wrote, oh, wait a minute. Nobody did.
No one in that entire family.
Could you imagine?
I can relate to this. I feel like if I had a death in my family, I don't know if my husband's family would reach out to me.
Yeah, but I feel like these guys were all super close last season.
Yeah. I think there's an emotional disconnect.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got you. Well, Steve Jr. is doing this whole scene in a towel.
I didn't hate it. He's making breakfast and bacon splatters on him. Like, oh, I'll just wipe that nipple for you.
So Jesse and Cole tell Junior that they didn't know what to say, and they felt like Calla was a little unapproachable. Guys, we have texts now.
Yeah.
Just text the person. Some of the most difficult conversations I have on text for the reason that I don't want to talk to the person.
Just even send a heart emoji.
Yes.
But in their defense, Jesse says that Junior and Calla had just broken up, and Junior told them to not talk to her.
Yeah, we didn't find that out till later, though.
Yeah.
Because at first I'm like, what the hell? And then I kind of got annoyed with putting the blame on all the women when Cole and Jesse didn't reach out either.
No.
And they are closer to her relationshiply, if that is a word, than the girls are.
Yeah. There's a weird disconnect emotional with everybody.
And Junior tells her, like, they just didn't know how to handle it. And he tells the camera, I'm in the middle of this. And he says to Kayla, what could they have asked you, sweetheart? And she's like, how about sorry for your loss? Let's just start there.
Bare minimum here.
You don't have to say a ton of shit. You could just say, sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
So Casey says, we were told they were broken up. So here's where it comes out.
Yeah.
And the family was not to speak to her. Then 4 months later, they're together. Here's another thing from season 1, guys. Calla and Steve Jr., real toxic.
Yes.
And I don't necessarily think either of them are bad people. I think it's just one of those, they're two extraordinarily hot people.
Yes.
And they're just off and on, off and on, off and on.
And they met on a reality show.
Yes.
So.
And they don't live, she lives in Texas, right?
Yeah. And she comes and she stays and leaves and goes and comes.
And I mean, he needs love while she's not there.
I mean, here's my number.
Can you spot me a one-way ticket?
Yeah.
But you have to go to Missouri. I told the story last year. I was in this part of Missouri, stranded one time. Oh, it was scary. And I come from an area that's just like that, so I get it. Like, people get lost outside of Scranton, and they're like, ooh, where am I?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, all right. 4 months later, they're together. So, Casey and Cole, let's talk about them for a minute, because there's a lot of tension between them.
Yeah. I wonder. Yeah. It's weird.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's thrilled about this baby.
I wonder what he said to her when she told him she was pregnant.
I'm sure. Let me just, make sure I cover all my bases here. I'm sure he loves his child now because the child's been born and he seems very happy. But an unexpected pregnancy can bring out a lot in people.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is, he had trouble asking her to be his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Now it's like, he's like, I was just shooting up the club having fun, and here we are.
I don't think there's ever been a lot of responsibility expected from him. That's the vibe I get.
Yeah.
And I think he's afraid of the responsibility that will now be expected of him.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So he kind of makes it seem like the whole not reaching out to Calla thing is on her.
Yeah.
And it's shitty. And I'm just telling you guys right now, I'm going to come for Cole a lot because I have some real problems with this guy.
He's a little problematic.
Yeah. I'm just going to say it. And he's like, so he kind of is rude to her, right? I don't know if you noticed this shift, but he's rude to her. Is it when they're
outside feeding the cows?
Yes.
Yes.
And he's like, you better make this right. Meanwhile, she's out to here, right?
Yeah.
She's got to be 7 months pregnant. And then it's like a switch flips. Like he remembers he's on camera. And he's like, oh, honey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you upset. Like it's a total change.
And she's crying. And she's like, you're making this seem like it's my fault.
Yeah. Yep. It was weird. Okay. Business meeting with Galena and Junior.
Okay. He grabs the flip chart. So dramatic. And he's making bars. Oh, love him.
So they have $70 million in debt that they have to cover here. They're completely leveraged. They're upside down on everything.
Yeah.
Junior rips a piece of paper dramatically off the easel. I called it an easel. What is it?
A flip chart.
Okay, yeah. I'm not in the business world, so I know nothing about this. And he's like, I hate this shit.
I don't care if we have one tractor on our farm.
So his big thing is we need to put money into cattle ranching. Yeah. That's where it's at. And if you guys watch Clarkson's Farm, like I always recommend, with the changes in the weather and the climate and stuff, farming is fucking hard.
Yeah.
It is hard to make money farming. We need to better support our farmers, but I'll go on a different rant about that.
Yeah.
But he believes like if we raise cows and slaughter them and sell the beef, that's where the money is. So
they have more control of the price of the market for that.
Yep. Yeah. And those of us who are seasoned Yellowstone watchers, we're like, yeah, this is exactly what's happening. So Jake is out on the farm with Cole and Jesse, and he's like, hey, guess what, guys? Junior's getting rid of a ton of our acreage that we currently farm.
Yeah.
This is Junior's plan. He calls it the get the fuck out of farming plan. And Cole and Jesse are real disgruntled. They are disgruntled employees. Because another kind of thing that, and I know I'm giving a lot of context, but if you didn't watch season 1, this will be helpful. Another kind of trope on this show is like Jesse and Cole are the real farmers. Yes. They get in there and get their hands dirty and they're plowing.
They're working the land.
And Junior's just like, apparently, in their opinion, sitting with his feet up on the desk, smoking a cigar and fucking women. They don't know what he's doing.
And I mean, their only version of a businessman is their dad. So. Which may be something he's allegedly doing.
Just to go back to season 1, where they go to Vegas and they're partying, and Steve Senior's like up on that rooftop bar, remember?
Yes.
And he's like trying to be one of them, and this guy parties till like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and you're like, what is going on here?
Like, go to bed, Grandpa.
I mean, I think we know what's going on here, but it's like, So $6 million due in 50 days. Yeah. No biggie. Junior says Galena's part owner. That's another thing.
Yeah.
He made her part owner.
And I remember that from the first season. Yeah.
That was an expensive affair.
Yeah. Yikes. What does she have on this man?
Well, and here's the thing. I have this written out literally. Steve Jr. says he needs Galena now more than anything. And then I'm like, but is she a terrific CFO? Because there's $75 million in debt and underwater on everything.
Well, that's because I think they just were spending money opening these car washes.
I need to go to a car wash.
Like, are they that lucrative, car washes?
We need to go there.
Yeah.
We need to do a McBee trip.
I need to see the coffee shop / car wash.
I need to see what I saw in the first scene there. Steve Jr. in that towel cooking me bacon. That's what I
just have binoculars.
So now we see Steve Sr.'s house. And Tessa is arriving, and she's not alone. A Porsche pulls up behind her, and she goes, I'm going to put it as kindly as I can. Good old boss man traded in last year's model for a new one.
Such a good line. Wow. And it's true.
It's true. So we meet Masha. So Masha, this is wild.
Yes.
Okay. Did we see Masha in season 1?
Yes, we saw her meet him at that party that they had at the house.
My God.
Was it Galena's daughter's part? It was some party that they were hosting together, I remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they had a party. Galena's good friend shows up, Masha. Now Masha is moving into the house and Galena's out.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. So I wrote, this was me putting this together, okay? Oh, this woman named Masha is given a key to the house. Wow, Masha's pretty young. Wow, Masha is Galena's friend. oh my God.
Yes, that's on mine. Or mine are like, what? Another Russian? What? She looks just like Alina.
Steve Sr. Wow.
The balls on this man.
Oof. So Masha has been here before. She's just now here to check on the chickens, she says. Does she say my chickens?
I thought she said my chickens too. And I was like,
This bitch has moved her chickens in?
that's a commitment.
That's a commitment. So we meet up with Galena and Kala now. So they have this private meetup, which is odd.
Yes.
Maybe this is the Bravo treatment again, that we're getting these scenes with people meeting up that we never would have had before. And that feels like a Bravo treatment or a Housewives treatment.
Yes. Bravo will get two people together that aren't really friends to talk about other people to kind of fill in the blanks so you know what's going on.
That's actually really smart.
Yeah.
Matt Sharp needs to take a page out of this production.
Because then you can get in another scene, Kala going, well, I met with Galia and she said...
Yeah.
It causes the friction.
So they talk about how Kala does not feel like the girls supported her during her rough time with Mallory. Mallory was her sister. Mm-hmm. She says, nobody reached out to me. And Galena says, well, the guys are so insensitive. Did you really expect more? Yes. Demand more from men, please, ladies.
Yes.
Thank you.
Your boyfriend's brothers, who they are incredibly close to, when your sister dies, should at least send you a heart emoji.
They should send you flowers. They should send you a card. They should send you something. I mean, on what planet do these people, like, you know it's going to come out on TV if for nothing else.
Yeah.
Do it so you could Instagram it so it's on TV.
But I also feel like Steven Jr. didn't tell people because Galena was like, oh, I'm so sorry. This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Maybe.
In another conversation with Tessa was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. Like,
maybe she put it on Instagram, though, and Galena and Tessa are not on Instagram.
No.
Tessa's just running around thinking about old boss man.
Yeah.
She totally wants to marry him, and I don't know what the deal is there. So Galena says she considers herself single right now, and she tells the camera, Steve was my boyfriend. He fucked my friend while I was living in the house, and I was backstabbed.
Yeah. She holds no bars.
She is giving no fucks, and I'm here for all of it.
And I love, she's like, I moved, I cut my hair, I'm doing my makeup different.
And she does look different. So Kala says, well, I just want you to know something. I went to the ranch, and Masha was there. And I thought it was weird, because you were nowhere to be seen. And she literally, like, Steve Sr. had his P in her V right in front of all of us. Something like that. And she just kind of snuck in. And Galena says Masha started reaching out to her. Mm-hmm. And she was thrilled to have someone who spoke her language and was a good friend of hers. And then she started banging Steven. Where were the cameras for this?
Yeah.
That was my one thing. Like, this happened between seasons and nobody thought to whip out an iPhone and record some of these fights. Because could you imagine when Galena actually discovered that this was happening, what went down?
Oh.
Like, it is.
She lost her mind.
It's a couple months out from it, and she's still freaking out and maniacal and possibly trashed Masha's car.
And I love, her and Kala are in mid-conversation, and she goes, excuse me. And she gets up. And Kala's like, did she leave? Is she leaving?
She left.
She just gets in her car and starts repeatedly calling Steven Sr.
Well, she said, I have to use the ladies' room. And she gave like a weird smile. And then she just booked it into the car and started calling him. It was delightful.
Oh, yeah.
So, Galena says she's a gold digger and a snake.
Yeah.
She calls Steven Sr. an asshole. She says Masha used to call her and say, can I come to the lodge? And Galena was like, well, I'm not there, but yeah, okay. Like, I trusted her. She was my best friend.
Yeah.
Ooh. Wow. Like, if you called me and you were like, can I stop by your house? I'm in town. I don't have anywhere to stay. I need to kill a few hours. And I wasn't there and Timmy said, I'd be like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be like, it's a little weird, but go ahead.
Just me and Timmy.
And then, like, I come back and you've moved in.
Instead of your face in the family photo, I put mine.
No. You found the Sister Wives sketch artist who created Robin's moment.
Yes.
And you had you and Timmy, you giving birth to the twins.
Yeah.
All of that. Yeah.
You cut the locks are changed. You try to come back.
So
I moved my chickens in. Sorry.
Calla reminds us that Galena did the same exact thing to Christy.
Yes.
Now, on season 1, that was left open to interpretation, but now Calla is saying it.
Yes.
Galena broke up the marriage. She was the other woman. Christy, who did not appear in season 1, is going to appear in season 2 because she's like, okay, this was a hit. I'm on this train now. And they had children involved, and we see a pic of the little boys all together.
And it makes me wonder how long they were having an affair for.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like it was years before the marriage broke up.
I don't know. Knowing Steve Sr. and how just manic he is, it might have been 3 weeks. Yeah. And he blew up his entire life. Like, he's one of those people that could go either way.
Yeah.
He can... I don't know if he would have the temperament to carry on a secret affair for, like, years. Because he's so wound up and obvious about everything.
True. He's a little...
So Calla tells Galena that, here's where it is, that Masha's staying for the summer, and Galena takes off and she's calling him. And she's yelling things like, I hope your whore goes to hell. She has no brain. She has no brain. I'm like, whoa.
And then you get this voicemail can take no more voicemails. And she's hanging up and calling right back. That man had 75 missed calls.
Wow. So back at the farm, Junior comes in wearing his Apex merch.
Yeah.
At least he knows how to do this.
Yeah. And that t-shirt is very, very tight. Yeah. He knows how to rock the muscles.
Yes, he does. And I wrote always a logo with that one. So Galena hands him some receipts and he's like, what is this? Is this from Masha? Now, Becca, apparently, Masha, as Galena says, the whore. Yes. I can't even keep his name straight. She says there's so many of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, there was a lot of damage done to her car. $7,000 worth of damage done to Masha's car.
Yeah. And I think he straight up asked her, did you do this? And she goes, well, I have no idea.
Well, he tells the camera, Galena's getting those crazy eyes.
And they were a little crazy eyed.
And the way he says it to her, he goes, did you beat up her car a little bit, maybe? She's like, no.
I don't know how this happened.
Junior's kind of like, I'm done cleaning up my father's messes. Yeah. Like, this is fucking ridiculous. So now Junior's driving down the road, and he gets a call that Cole signed a lease on 200 acres without telling Junior, and he flies into a rage.
Oh, he's pissed.
It was kind of hot.
Yeah, like when he came pulling up. And
yes, and he got out of the car all angry and ran up. I was kind of like, okay. So he confronts Cole, and Cole's like, well, first he's like, you signed a lease without me. You think you're a big boy now? And Cole's like, look, I'm a farmer. This is going to make money. I don't know if I would trust Cole to sign a car or sign a lease for an apartment.
No.
Let alone 200 acres.
And they're going to grow soybeans on it? That's what he says. Is that, and I wish I knew more about farming. Like, is that turned into soybean oil? Like, what is
I have no idea. I think because there's soy in everything, it's probably a better investment, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Guys, come at us if you are farming BDFs. Come at us and let us know. Is Steven Jr. on the right path here with the cattle meat stuff, or is Cole on the right path here with the soybeans?
Yeah.
Let us know. So Junior thinks this is really bad move, and Cole says, well, I'm farming it, so fuck off. And that's where we leave these two.
And he tells him, you can take this out of your own money.
Yeah, which one is more details on that, please?
Yeah, how
do they all get an allowance?
Money? Do they have a trust fund?
Well, they all have homes on that. They have like a compound.
Yeah.
But then don't forget, Jesse and Allie are building a house in, I forget the name of the bigger city by them.
Because she's a nurse, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So they're building a house out in the city somewhere, and Steve Sr. was building it across the street.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes. But I will say, most of the boys' homes are not elaborate mansions that we're at least seeing for filming. They're pretty modest homes.
The house that Jesse and Allie are building was pretty intense. Yeah. But it was, you're right, for the amount of money they supposedly have and like to throw around, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
So Junior complains to Tessa, and Tessa's like, oh, that little boy Coley, he's just trying to step out on his own here, sugar. Why are you so mad? You need to give him a chance.
He's just trying to make you proud.
And Junior's basically like, he's a fucking idiot. Did you watch season 1, Tessa?
Are you new here?
And she goes, and this is a direct quote from her, those boys are like oil and water, and I could no more choosing than nothing. What?
Yeah.
What? Oh, I could no more choose than nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
she
the
says
thing.
she loves them all equally.
Yes, she does. She's like the farm mama.
Yeah.
Now Calla runs into Tessa, who encourages her to call the girls out and talk to them about what happened. Let's not, let grudges build here. Let's call them out. Which, again, why are you not confronting the boys?
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
And Tessa makes a comment like, well, you know how these boys are.
Let's not give them a pass, please.
Yeah.
Please. So Jesse's having a cookout now, we discover. And Braden, youngest brother, comes over with Jake, the farmhand.
Yeah.
And it's not good. They're like, we don't know what you're doing here, but you have nothing prepared. Things don't look right.
They're making French fries that maybe are moldy.
Okay. When you go to a cookout, when you're invited to a cookout on a farm by farmers, ranchers, let's just say ranchers, what are you expecting, Becca?
Oh, smoked meats, like a brisket, like a Traeger kind of brisket, sausages,
homemade coleslaw,
potato salad.
Yes. I'm not expecting frozen French fries.
No.
I don't understand. So they're like, you two have done nothing for this. Now Cole comes rolling in.
Yeah.
And there's going to be tension here because Calla's coming.
Yeah.
And Casey and Allie and Calla have not been in the same room since the turning the other cheek, if you will. No, that's not the right one. Cold shoulder.
Yeah.
Things are a little awkward, and you can sense the tension.
But can we mention how when Cole pulls up, he gets out of the truck, shuts the door, and just starts walking to the house and leaves his pregnant girlfriend with no help, doesn't get the door for her. And I'm going to say
something. You and I, you've been in pickup trucks, I'm sure. Your share of pickup trucks, so have I. They're high off the ground.
Yes.
And if you're a short person, and I don't think he has a step. I didn't see a step. If you're a short person, getting out of a pickup truck can be a struggle.
It
is for me.
Sliding down.
And I'm shaped like a 6-month pregnant woman. So I understand rolling this little meatball out of there, how sometimes Timmy needs to come around and help me out of the truck.
And even everybody in the house made a comment about it. Like, ooh, look, Cole didn't even help her out of the car.
Yeah. It's very similar to in 90 Day Fiancé history, the moment that is seared in my memory when Kalani is stuck in the car with the 2 kids and Asuelu gets out and goes up to the door and walks in and she is struggling to get the 2 children out of the car.
Yep.
What?
It shows a lot about who you think you are and who you think that other person is.
See this thing in front of you guys? It's a television camera.
Yeah.
And people are going to be judgy. Yeah. So things are awkward. Now, okay. So Casey, where do you think this came from? She starts crying.
Yeah.
And saying she doesn't feel. And she's going like this. You guys can't see it, but like she's putting her hand to her forehead, like to check if she has a fever, maybe.
And she keeps grabbing her heart and saying her heart. She's having a panic attack.
But what brought this on? Do you think it was just the awkwardness with Calla?
What happened before they got there? Like, is she just somebody who, I don't want to say is dramatic, but is dramatic?
I don't know. I don't know. It was, maybe you're right. Maybe they had a fight on the way there.
It seemed a lot for just seeing Calla because Calla's, at least from watching it, Calla's vibe or attitude wasn't, she seemed pretty open and receptive. She wasn't She didn't seem angry. Like there wasn't an angry vibe.
No, and you know what? The reason I'm coming for Junior so hard here is he is the common denominator
Yes.
here. He needs to be the one to broker the peace. This is stupid.
Yeah.
He should have said at the gathering, guys, I know this feels awkward, but let's just agree to put everything behind us for today.
Did you see him there? I didn't see him there.
I didn't
just
see
saw
him there
Calla.
either, and I have eyes posted for him all the time, and I didn't see him.
Yeah. I remember thinking, like, where is Junior?
Yeah. But he's assuming he's there. They just haven't, because she's there. Well, maybe he's not there. Maybe he's filming all of this.
She walked in by herself with her protein brownies.
Maybe they're too poor to hire
He's also the camera crew.
So in every scene, there's going to be one of the McBees missing, and that's who's filming that episode. Bravo just shipped them a camera.
Yeah. They're like, here, do it yourself a la Sister Wives.
So Cole says she almost passed out.
Yeah.
And then Casey's like, they get her in this little like coat closet-y foyer kind of space. And they're like, do you need to go to the hospital? She's like, yes, I have to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And Allie's like, do you need me to come with you? And Cole goes, yes.
Yeah.
Why did Allie have to go with her?
Maybe
to
'cause she's
sit
a
with her in the back
nurse.
seat?
Yeah, she's a nurse. Maybe she can help.
Oh,
guide.
she's a nurse. I forgot about that. Yes, yes. Well, I just thought maybe like if this was me and Cole's going to make you sit in the back seat, I need somebody to be with me so he doesn't yell at me.
And he's not really a responsible adult, so you need a responsible adult with you at the
No,
hospital.
no.
She asked for her mom, so she does seem really young to me.
Now, for those of you who are worried, we do know this turns out okay. They have a
Yes.
baby girl. She's adorable. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
But we don't know what is, sending her here. She's saying that her heartbeat is rapid. I think we hear Cole calling her mom. Who does he call?
He calls somebody, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's her mom. So that's where we leave these McBees for episode 1. We get a this season on, and I just wrote, this looks amazing.
It looks so good. So good. Yes.
And we also have Stephen Jr. reading a Bible quote over it. There's a lot going on here, guys.
A lot. But it does. Be happy, everyone. It does look like the girls do make amends. They show a couple of scenes with them talking again, and they looked happy.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it too, like you kind of alluded to, is the on and offness with Steven and Calla, or Junior and Calla, is a problem for the rest of the people.
Yeah,
because they're like, do we hold a grudge? Do we not hold a grudge? Are we good with her? Are we not good with her? Like it's constantly shifting.
Yeah.
What these people need to do is stand up and say, I'm friends with Calla. And whatever happens with you guys, but I'm not going to change my relationship with Calla or how I treat her based on whether or not you're together or not.
And maybe we should be a little bit more mature and not break up every 3 weeks on Instagram.
Well, I mean,
you know,
what's in, like my dad would say, what does he say? What's in the dog is in the pups. So there you go.
True. But yeah. What's in the dog is in the pups. I'm going to use that. That's a great one. I love that.
So guys, that's been your cowboy show.
Yeah.
I love the show. Is there anything from season 1 you think that we left out that was important? Oh, I know a pivotal scene in season 1. I just remembered it. When they have the big employee celebration at the end of the year.
Yes.
And Steve Sr. gets real trashed and he gets the mic. He's supposed to give like he's the CEO of this company. He's the well, I think Junior's the president, but he's the CEO of this company. He's supposed to give this warm, uplifting, inspiring speech to his employees, and he gets real shit-faced.
Does he take his shirt off, or is that in Vegas?
I think he takes his shirt off. I'm telling you. And then I will never forget, I was covering this episode with Axel and we were laughing so hard when Allie had her bachelorette party and they had the quote unquote male strippers who assaulted her. Yes. They were like Macho Man Randy Savage, just jumping on her, getting her in a leg brace.
She was just like in between them.
It was the most aggressive strip club I think I ever saw in my life.
Oh, man.
And then we had Brooke, and she, like we said, got in the accident. But And then he broke up with her at the end, right? Or she broke up with him. She broke up with him.
Yeah. And
I remember them sitting on a bench in a park or something.
Yeah, and because at the end, him and Galea were back together, I thought. Right? Oh.
Poor Galena. Like, I can't decide if she is a victim here or if she's a little bit of a problem also. I can't.
I mean, she knew what she was getting into with this man.
I mean, it's very much like we feel about, is it Jasmine, who I always freak out about? Like, and Natalie and Jasmine on 90 Day Fiancé, always calling other women whores. I cannot stand that.
It does not make you look good.
Steven Sr. is the whore here. Let's just be very clear. He's the one who should be loyal to the people he picks.
Yeah. I really can't wait to see the mom.
Oh, I can't wait to see her either.
Yeah. Because what was going on in that house where, like, no one has any communication, no one has any, like, emotional intelligence? Like, no. Yeah. And I'm very interested.
She's got to be a smoke show. I mean, we see a little bit of her, but I didn't get a good look at her. She's got to be super hot because she produced these boys. Well,
they're all good.
Half of these boys.
Yeah.
All of them, Becca?
Even Cole, who's not my favorite, has a nice smile.
Sure. I'm just saying something about Cole's personality turns me off. Yes. Is he an objective? You're right. They're all objectively handsome boys.
Yes.
But like, there's something about Cole that just...
Oh, and especially in this coming up season, you see 3 scenes where he's just like... trash.
Yeah.
And you hear Casey say, if he doesn't get it together, I can't be with him. I can't have a baby with this guy.
Well, that's the thing about Cole. Like, I feel like, and I am aware of me sitting here looking like a little meatball saying who's hot and who's not. So don't send me hate mail because I'm aware of it. But here's the thing about Cole. I think he's got a drinking problem. And if he can get that under control, and I'm not saying he's an alcoholic. He just has a problematic relationship with alcohol. I don't know how deep it goes, I'm only based on what I'm seeing on the screen.
Yes.
And I think if he can get that under control, he can be a fine human being and a good dad.
Yeah.
But he's got to get it under control because last season it was off the hook too.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys love to party.
They do. I mean, well, look at their dad.
Remember? Oh my God! I just had a memory. Remember Cole? They went somewhere without the girls, and he was like trying to go home with other people.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that when they went to Texas? Did they remember?
Yes.
Oh,
it was not good.
Well, that's because he hadn't had that pickup truck date yet and asked her to be his girlfriend.
That's right. And Dad, too. Dad was down there in that club banging women. And remember the twins were trying to come on to Steven Jr.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't fare so well in the face of those hot twins.
It has to be hard to be a rich, good-looking man in a small town.
A rich, white, good-looking man in a small town. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that's been your first episode of the McBee Dynasty. We'll be back every week with this stuff. Thank you, Bravo. Thank you. Thank you. And Becca, you and I just did Beverly Hills Now 210.
Yes.
What else are we doing? Not much right now. We're just doing this.
We're doing this. We're in between shows.
I think I need to find something for you to do.
Let me know.
You need more work.
This is fun work. This is easy work. I'll do this any day.
Oh, well, we love having you. And thank you for doing this with me. And guys, a couple of you have reached out because I covered this last season with Axel. He will come on one episode and talk with us about this.
Great.
100%, because he's ready to talk about these toxic cowboys. So, all right, guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.